Happy Valentine's Day, guys. Happy Valentine's Day. This is going to undoubtedly be, undoubtedly? Undoubtedly? English clearly isn't working for me today. But this is going to be the shortest podcast episode you're going to receive from me. My life, I'm going through some changes right now. This couch, you might not notice, but it is sitting on all the legs minus one. Just a lot is going on. I do not know where my microphone is. I am looking at my lights right now, but unboxing them now to put it up. I'm losing light. The sun is setting really quickly, but I have one little light here. It is that kind of day. But happy Valentine's Day, guys. No one asked me to do this podcast. I decided to do this podcast. And last night I was crying because I was like, I think it's time to put it to an end. But here I am today. So hopefully you guys see this. If you don't see it, then you know. Anyways, happy Valentine's Day. I told you English isn't working for me. Hope everyone is doing great. Quickly wanted to talk about follow your heart. Follow your heart. Wow, how corny are we going? On a scale of 1 to 10, how corny? But I think it's only right to talk about following your heart. Today is Valentine's Day. I know we're all thinking about love, romantic love, even your friends. But I think something has to be said about following your heart, because I think that a lot of us are not raised to listen to our inner voice and listen to that inner guidance. A lot of us don't even know that we have that inner sort of guidance within us that actually would guide us to something good. A lot of us are afraid of even just spending 5 minutes in quietness because we don't want to hear ourselves, like our inner dialogue. And if you're afraid to hear yourself and hear the things that you're saying to yourself, then you definitely cannot get to the point where you are listening to your heart, right? So it's layers and layers. But yeah, absolutely following your heart is where I believe I am. No, don't say that. I was going to say I believe I am now, but I don't even know if anyone ever like masters it. I think the hope is that you master it. The hope is that you're able to say, yes, I'm always following my heart. But to be honest, I can't say that I have always followed my heart. So I'm going to hold back on that. But I'm trying and I want to try. And that's why I'm sharing this with you guys. A lot of us are givers. And when you're told to be a giver, to be compassionate, to be kind, you forget yourself. And so for me in this chapter, following my heart doesn't mean overextending myself. Following my heart doesn't mean, what I'm trying to say is it's not always for your benefit. It's not always following your heart to do XYZ for yourself. When you follow your heart, you can also sort of listen around and, just pick up on things that people around you need. And if you have the gifts and the ability to provide those things, you can provide. Like what I'm doing now, right? This isn't for me. Following my heart, like I've had the realization, it's in my notes and it can end there. But in this chapter of following my heart, in this chapter that I'm sharing with you, I'm talking about when you follow your heart and do things to help others. I'm doing this podcast, I'm sharing these realizations to you, and hopefully it's going to touch and help someone else. But this chapter of my life, and I just hope generally for all of you listening, I hope that your self-love accounts for self-preservation. I hope that your love gives space for and looks like self-preservation, because a lot of us, and I know I have been guilty of this, right? I want to use my gifts, I want to help people, I want to do things that makes people's lives easier, but then I end up overextending myself. So yes, I'm absolutely following my heart, but I'm not listening to myself. I'm coming in from that angle of following your heart, yes, loving yourself and others around you, yes, but I hope that your love also looks like self-preservation. So that's the first chapter that I'm going to file away with you on following your heart. All of this to say, when you follow your heart, your world becomes expansive. There is no floor, there is no ceiling. It's just you. You're able to show up for yourself. You're able to show up for your community. You're able to show up for your dreams in the way that you know that you should and that you can. You you just actually become limitless. You don't think of that opportunity as, oh, I won't get in. You apply anyway because that decision is not yours to make. But what you will be damned is if you don't take the step. What you will be damned is if you count yourself out before you've had the chance to walk into the room. When you follow your heart, you don't count yourself out. No, not anymore, because that is for when you used to play small. Now that you follow your heart, everything becomes so much bigger, so much better, and your world around you actually begins to adjust to you, believe it or not. A few months ago, not too long ago, I had the most crazy idea slash realization slash God spoke to me, and I listened, but it didn't come without a fight. I fought. I absolutely fought back. Like I was out there punching the air, like fighting it, fighting. But eventually I gave in. I had some realizations and I was like, absolutely, yes, I will do this. And that was me unknowingly following my heart. Because even though at that time I couldn't see why, I couldn't see all the reasons, like I said, admittedly, I fought back. But eventually I was able to stay the course and just listen and lean in to what that inner guidance was telling me. And I followed through. And honestly, guys, when I tell you this is the best decision, non-decision I have ever made, and I absolutely have to give that credit, right? Because I've told you that I fought back. So it would be very like phony like of me to sit down here and tell you that, yes, I made this decision. Yes, this was 120% me. No, it wasn't. It wasn't 120% me. But I'm glad that I surrendered. And sometimes that is what following your heart looks like. It's about surrender, even when you don't see the path fully mapped out. And I know that in the human experience, that's what actually draws us back. The fact that we cannot see the whole path mapped out. The fact that we wish someone could just give us a template. Like, hey, this is you. You're going to Earth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That is what you're going to do. 7, 8, 9, 10. That is what is going to happen. Like, we all wish, I know that I wish, someone could just give me a guide and tell me play by play by play what is going to happen. It would make my life easier. But where will the fun of living be? So, following your heart does look like surrender a lot of times because you truly don't know what's ahead. But you have to trust yourself. And that's why I started off with talking about how people don't even want to give themselves 5 minutes to hear themselves. If you can't give yourself 5 minutes to hear yourself, to listen to yourself, then you definitely are not going to be in that place to follow your heart because you won't even know what it's saying because you're not in tune with yourself. So following your heart looks like surrender. And surrender, the art of surrendering, is literally falling, free fall from a multi-story building. It is a free fall. I promise you, there is no way I'm going to sugarcoat this. It's not falling with, harness and all of that in place. No, it is a free fall. When you surrender, when you follow your heart, it is a free fall. But the hope is that what is out there, what is next, what is waiting for you is a lot better than where you currently are. And if you follow your heart, and if you've done this 1 or 2 times or enough times, you will know that what I'm saying is what usually happens. You do that thing, or you go to that place, or you send that email, where you're going to end up after completing that action that your heart is leading you to is going to be so much better than where you were. And I know that we're afraid. I know that fear plays a part in all of us, the lived experience. But you have to trust. You have to follow your heart. You have to surrender. And I think you do have to be almost in a place where you realize, even if it's just by a little, that where you are currently isn't your final destination. Stay with me. The word is landing. When you realize that where you are is not your final destination, that you can do better, usually, I think that makes it a little bit easier to follow your heart. But you can't make that your only, right? Because obviously things will get to a better place and you're not going to get complacent when things are better because then you'll just not grow, right? So I don't want that to be the determinant of yes, it's time to follow my heart, but it would be amiss of me. Is that even the right English? It would be wrong of me to not call that out as sometimes yes, that is what makes people take that leap and follow their heart because they were just fed up of what the present looks like. So that might be it for you, but I'm not recommending you wait till it gets there. I'm not recommending that's the only time you follow your heart. But because even when things are good, there's always something better. Why would you deny yourself of the opportunity to have better or to be better when you can be better, right? So following your heart is it's a I won't say it's a gradual process, but I'm going to reframe it as it's a muscle you have to build over time. And it's something that you have to keep doing over and over and over again. It doesn't end with the first time you followed your heart, or the fifth time you follow your heart, or the 50th time you follow your heart. You have to keep doing it. It's a lifelong process. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you or pretend that I have mastered it. Flowers. I recently, only last year, did I start getting into flowers and appreciating it and caring about them. Prior to that, I didn't care for flowers. Okay, flowers, okay, big deal. I didn't see the hype. I didn't see why people like love flowers. So flowers, right? You walk past a flower shop or you have a bouquet of flowers in your house and you love it, right? People that love and are crazy about flowers. You love, 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 love this flower. But the truth is that whether you picked up that flower from the store, or whether whoever gifted it to you or not, like whether you had that flower in your hands or not, to even be able to appreciate its beauty and be like, oh my God, I love flowers. It smells so good. Whether that flower left the store or not, that flower would still be beautiful. Whether it was plucked from the field or not, whether the gardener that day said, you know what, today I'm plucking white roses because I don't care for red roses. The white roses would still be beautiful. The red roses would still be beautiful. And so following your heart has this consistency built into it. And that's why I said it's a muscle. You have to build it over time. And you have to build it regardless of time, regardless of your resources or lack of resources in the moment. Because again, where you're going to get to is better than where you are currently when you follow your heart. So a flower remains a beautiful, fragrant. Told you English is giving me a run for my money today. You know, that flower remains beautiful, fragrant, whatever, whether you pick it up or not. Consistency. There's an art of consistency built into the art and the absolute faith mission of following your heart. You just have to. And yeah, so that flower is just beautiful because it just is. You follow your heart because you just know that every time you've done this, you are consistently blessed with better results. Consistency. Another thing that comes to mind when I think of following your heart is banana peel. So in life, I talked about how we all wish we had a template for how life is going to turn out, what we need to do, who we're going to be, who our friends are going to be, who our love is going to be. Like all of that, we wish someone just gave us a scroll, literally a scroll, and said, hey, this is your life. But unfortunately, it just isn't the case. Now, picture that I am life and there's a blindfold on you. That's literally how we're sent into this world. Like, nobody gives you the guide. So right here, I'm representing life and there's a blindfold on you. And this, my dear friend, this dear friend of mine, you're going to pretend that this represents your heart. Oh, it actually even looks pretty and has some, yeah, this represents your heart. So I represent life, this is heart. So I blindfold you because that's literally what happens to us and we're tossed into this world to figure it out. I blindfold you and say, go. And I don't say anything after that. That's what life does. Just blindfolds you and just says, go, and doesn't say anything. Now, our dear friend, heart, tells you, Keep going, turn left, and you don't turn. Step over the banana peel, and you don't step over the banana peel. What is going to happen? You're going to fall. You're absolutely going to trip and fall. You see what I'm saying? Life knows exactly what is ahead of you. And so does your heart. Like, we're literally standing next to each other in the same room. What I see as life is what the heart sees. So when you don't listen to your heart, you are going to trip and fall. I don't know why we always think we know better. Honestly, like, this thing frustrates me so much because I do it too. Like, everybody has done it. We think we know better, but as you can see now, I have eyes and I see the room that we're in. I see the path, but I'm life, so I'm not telling you what to do. But heart right here, a trusted friend, is telling you what to do. Heart has eyes and it's seeing exactly what life sees and what life placed. Whatever I placed here, heart can see it. And so heart tells you, go left, go right, jump, step over the banana peel. And we just don't. So, like, what do you expect? We're going to fall. And every time we don't listen to our hearts, that's what happens. We fall, we trip, we fall, we get injured. And then we have to find our way. Now, finding our way. You're driving, you're on the expressway. GPS says, take exit 35. You're like, who are you? I made the map of this city. I know that exit 34 is going to take me to my destination. And then you take the wrong exit. Now you've missed your way. Now you're going to stress your poor GPS to take you right back to wherever exit 35 is so that you can go on your way. Now you're I don't even know what to call your disobedience, basically, to GPS and frankly, your audacity. Because you really have the audacity, like you think you mapped out the roads. No, you didn't. So your disobedience and your audacity and just whatever you were on that day has now added 9-10 minutes, right? It's always like a significant amount of time to then loop around and like connect to the exit. You've added like more driving time, more driving distance to your journey. And so, yes, absolutely, hearts will eventually help you course correct. You know, a GPS. For me, I even see God as a GPS, how He redirects you. But it is not without its bruises. You've already added 9 minutes extra time to your journey. You could have been licking ice cream by that time. Like, you would have had a solid cone of ice cream in that time if you had just arrived at your destination and taken the right exit. You would have not slipped on that banana peel if you listened to heart telling you, step over the banana peel. And so this is what we do to ourselves. When we don't listen to hearts, when we don't follow our hearts, we take twists and turns that are unnecessary and only add to the journey. The beauty is that, like a GPS, like God, you know, like our dear friend hearts that will finally have compassion on you, you will be rerouted. But it will not be without its injuries, without its pain, without its trauma a lot of times. And that is really the cause of all of us that are walking around carrying trauma. There is a component of, oh my gosh, I just didn't follow my heart. Oh my gosh, I was too scared to follow my heart. Oh my gosh, I was too scared to listen. I didn't know. No one told me this. I was having a conversation with my friend earlier this week, and we're talking about relationships. And the truth is, and this is something I want to talk about separately, women are not taught to follow their intuition in relationships. Like, I can meet a guy and say and tell my friends, oh, this, that, and people are like, no, give him a chance. No, you're thinking too much. No, your standards are too high. That is what we hear all through our lives. And before we know it, a woman is in an abusive relationship. But in her heart, she knows, right? When she's telling you that story, she's trying to get to the point where she's like, but this guy is weird. She's telling you, but I'm not feeling this. She's saying all those things, but our society has, from like girlhood, childhood, and it's obviously because of the competition of men. Like, you know, Chimamanda like wonderfully said, it's because of the competition of men. So people are basically telling you and teaching you and training you to ignore your heart and follow whatever. They're like, no, you just have too high standards. No, you're thinking too much. No, you're going to grow to love him. No, you won't. No, you need to walk up out of there. No, you need to not enter that relationship. You need to follow your heart. And so a lot of us then end up with trauma, wasted time, wasted years, pain for no reason, all because we didn't follow our hearts, or we're not taught to follow our hearts or encouraged to follow our hearts, or we just didn't even know that that inner compass exists. And so today, that it's a love day, I'm reminding you to follow your heart. Thank you. And I'm going to go open my Valentine's presents now. Of course. I had my like early morning presents opening session. It was bliss. It was amazing. Fantastic. My white roses should have been here, but clearly I didn't do that. Didn't follow my heart. I really was trying not to spend more money. So now I'm going to go open my second part of my gifts, which is really a reward to myself for filming this episode because I was so scared. I was like, oh my gosh, I think I'm going to stop this podcast. I think the first episode is going to be the last. I don't know what I'm going to say. I can't even film. I told you guys my couch is wobbly. Like it's literally like like leaning on 1 or 0.5 legs. But I followed my heart. I did it! Yay! Alright, I need to go export this and share it to you guys. Bye! Have a wonderful bye. Oh, and my outfit. If you're interested, let me know. I'm wearing like this actually this outfit is from Amazon. I didn't even realize. Yes, this top is from Amazon. Amazon fashion sellers are actually getting it. So it's like, let me show you. You can wear it like this. You can wear it like this. You can do boat neck. I don't think boat neck looks good on me, like, but I know it looks good on some people. So boat neck like that. You can wear it like this off shoulder, which is what I kept trying to do throughout. And it has like this nice cowl option. So it's a really, really, really cute top, and it's really soft. I'm like super impressed. You guys know I'm obsessed. Well, people that know me know I'm obsessed with Skims, but this thing is soft. Amazon did it. And then I'm wearing this burgundy a beautiful satin skirt also from Amazon. I absolutely love this thing. It's so stunning. My light just went off. I think that means it's time to go. I was trying to do my nails because I didn't get to do Valentine's nails, but maybe I'll just do that tomorrow and just open my gifts and enjoy the night, watch TV. All right. Bye. I hope we all build that muscle and learn the skill, frankly, of following our hearts and just doing what we know, like inside of us, we know that that's what we need to do or that's what we should do at that time. I really, really hope for us that we get better at this because it's only going to make your life so much better and so much easier. Like all that struggle will be a thing of the past. So follow your heart.